Since I missed the episode, what, 2 weeks ago, and we made one last week, we're gonna make another one this week, and we're gonna put ourselves back on schedule on the every other week. That's the goal for right now, is every other week we're gonna do one of these, and that's what's making it work. Stuff, new things. I got a really cool badge from Hacker Boxes. We put this thing together on stream a couple of days ago, or last week, somewhere, whenever you watch this. It was before I made this video, which is kind of neat. And I hooked up a really awesome battery to it, so it does its cool little thing. And there's a bunch of cool stuff you can do with it, and it's awesome. Probably get into that. We got a really cool DEF CON badge, safe mode, cassette tape thing. It's kind of awesome. Anyway, stuff. Okay, what else? A bunch of other cool stuff is going on. I got a friend of mine who has been helping me poke around at the inner workings of what was the SDK for Android Auto, because we looked at Crankshaft, we looked at Open Auto, we looked at Intelligent Auto, and pretty much every other Open Auto implementation. We realized that most of them have all stopped development because they've either gone on to something else or they've turned it into a pay model, and we're going, well, that's cool and all, but we're gonna rewind back to where we started with this entire project, and we're gonna basically grow it from zero. So we started looking at the Android Auto SDK and what we're going to be able to take to make that part of the Raspberry Pi infrastructure and a few other things. So hopefully that will be, we'll have something in the next couple of months where we're going to be able to actually put it onto a piece of hardware and make it work, which I'm really excited about. So thank you very much, Tech256, for that. You're badass. I've got a new video thing. My buddy Max CFM pointed me in the direction of this really cool piece of software that you can use as a input into OBS. It's like a browser source, but you use your phone, you go to a website, that website then captures your video and audio if you want, and broadcasts it to this page. So it's a little bit of a delay. The camera's kind of okay. But it will enable me to take the phone and use it as a video source for OBS, which is awesome because that means I literally could be anywhere. We found that LTE was a lot slower than Wi-Fi, obviously, and Wi-Fi worked really well. So we were going to be able to take that and actually use it as a camera remote, so I can take it somewhere and kick it off inside of OBS, and I can either go out to the car, so I'm doing some other work on that. So in the next couple of days, I'm going to be poking at making. I got to find out which wires go where. That's what it boils down to. So some of this stuff is from the amp to the speakers. Some of it was from where the head unit was to the amp, and some of this is power and remote control. And then there's some additional wires. Some of these don't actually have any wires at all, so I have to map that whole thing out and figure it out, and then I'm going to color code what I've got here. I found a small enclosure with a bunch of standard RCA plugs. I think there's 8 of them in there, so I'm going to see if I can use that as just a temporary solution, so I can wire that into this, so we can plug the car audio into this, and then come out of that into the amp, and then from the amp we're going to go back out to the speakers, and we should be able to get 2 channels coming from the stereo bits, and then 2 channels going to the front speakers, 2 channels going to the back speakers, and then have an additional 2 channels going to subs whenever we get those things prepped and ready and put in place, whether we're going to use the ones I have or I'm going to try to sell them and replace them with something smaller that's more effective for the car, or I'm just going to keep those and then get something smaller, more effective for the car with a different amp. But that's projected timeline for the car infotainment system. More than just speakers, but right now I really could use something because I've got a small Bluetooth sugar cube that I got from somebody at CES. It's literally that big. It's a tiny little cube. And that's literally what I've been listening to audiobooks on. I can't even listen to music if I wanted to because it sounds like shit, and I'm not going to do it to myself. So that's in the mix. That's progress on that, which is pretty awesome. If you've ever seen one of these envelopes, you know what's in there. So somebody in another fancy country has requested to get one of these envelopes, so I'm gonna mail that off, and it'll be awesome. The store is open. I haven't made them live yet because I don't have confirmation of them being shipped to me. But as soon as I get confirmation of being shipped to me and I get them, I will turn the shirts up and the hats. All that's going to be available in the store very, very soon, so I'm very excited about that. You can check that out at dermalarmor.com. I was thinking about doing like a pre-order for it, but I was like, I can't. Is it too much of a pain in the ass to justify making the functionality in the store? So I was like, you know, I'll just keep them as out of stock until I can have them in stock. I'm thinking about putting that on the list of new shirts. I just got this from my good friend iMaximus, who has been trucking away with a bunch of awesome artwork, and this is one of the new ones, and I'm pretty stoked about it. So that may end up on a shirt someday, or maybe on a hat. Well, depends on how all this stuff does. I'm really excited about all the new artwork. A lot of these are going to end up as like Twitch emotes and or subscriber badges on Twitch, so I'm pretty stoked about that. I'm really excited. It's been a good week. Like, it's been a really good week considering all the crap going on, and the fact that I was really torn between making the decision of going to DEF CON and going to QuakeCon, and now I get to sit here in the vault and kind of be at both at home, safe mode version, and I'm pretty excited about it. It turned out to be really, really good. There's definitely some ridiculousness is going on with QuakeCon, so all you guys who've been hanging out doing all the QuakeCon stuff, that's awesome. Thank you very much for all the cool content that's been coming out of Bethesda and out of the fans of QuakeCon, because QuakeCon has been one of those places, one of those events that I really love going and hanging out at. I chuckle because I do a lot of events, and last year I did a lot of events, and the year before we were doing a lot of events, and what I've found is that I go to QuakeCon it's my vacation. I get to go to an event, and even though I say that, I'm always working upstairs on something, doing something, figuring something out, figuring how can I make things better, and that's really what I think this whole channel is going to end up being about, is how can you take something and make it better. I've got to take some time in the next week. My editor has been we're gonna make some real content this time. So I'm gonna say it now, and it's gonna be present. And so next week is not gonna be a Qain's World. We're gonna have a real piece of content, whether it's gonna be a Qain University or it's gonna be some random thing that I've been working on. I don't know yet. I've got 4 days to figure it out, 2 days to film it, and then a day to edit it, and then we're hopefully gonna release it next Sunday. Otherwise, it's gonna be like next Monday. So it's Sunday, Monday. I tend to release them when I get them, as soon as I'm like, this is awesome, and I just shove them into the space. Some people are like, you should release it when everybody's gonna be able. I'm like, I don't care, I just put it in there. So keep an eye out on your feature, whatever the browse feature or the notifications or however any of that stuff works. Follow me up on Twitter. I always post a link there to the latest and greatest videos, so that's that. Also, I want to put a big shout out to Paul's Hardware and Bitwit Kyle. These guys are awesome. They raided me the other day on Twitch from Awesome Hardware, and I was like, I was working on something. I'm like, I don't know what to do anymore. So thank you guys for that. I appreciate it every time that does happen. You guys kick ass, and we'll get a link down there. And Caitlin also, she occasionally drops in a group of people. You guys are badass. Cell Processing, I want to put a shout out to you. I'm really excited. There's a lot of people in this greater tech community that I've made really good friends with over the years, and I'm really excited to see what the future holds. This crazy time that we're operating in right now has really put some things into perspective of what's important and what's not important. And as we move forward into the future and we're taking over the world, keep that in mind. Until then, I'll see you guys next time. My name is Qain, and I'm here to help you.